Hi guys, and welcome to the editorial calendar board training. You will absolutely love this. So when I first became a blogger, I would have ideas in the shower, ideas everywhere. I just see ideas of potential blogs that I could create, podcasts, all of that side of things. I've always been the same. So I would need somewhere to put my ideas. And for the first couple of years, I made the mistake of having pieces of paper dotted around. I'd be like, oh, I need to make a note of that idea. I want to make a note of that idea. My notepad on my phone was full of ideas. And what I found that I was doing is I was half starting everything and then kind of not actually finishing things. And if only I actually followed a process, I would actually get so much more done. So that's when I created this editorial calendar board. And this board works with Trello. So if you've not used Trello before, it is brilliant for project managing. I use it for my courses. I use it for content like I'm going to show you today. I use it for everything. So I'm going to show you my board and how it works today. So I've got the free version of Trello, so I've not upgraded to the paid version. I think there's enough on here to use it for free at the moment. And if I find there isn't, I would upgrade because I love it that much. But I love the way it works at the moment. So you don't need to buy the paid for option. You can actually have it for free, and it's a great place to manage everything. So I'm going to take you from the beginning of my board and talk you through the board, and you can create yours, or if you've got access to this one through my course or you've purchased it, then great, you're going to access this board and it's going to be life changing for you. And I'm going to talk you through why. So first of all, this column here is ideas, column on the left hand side. In fact, before I talk about that, if you have got access to my board, I just want to show you what you need to do before we get started and you start editing everything. So this is the group board. This is everybody's board. So everyone has got access to this board, okay, that has purchased it, that's in my courses. So this board needs to stay the same all the time because this is the board that you will be copying. So what you need to do first of all is, if you haven't already, sign up to Trello for free and click the link and you will get access to my board. Now, what I do say is it can be up to 24 hours for me to approve your access. Just depends on where I am, what I'm doing. If I'm on a plane, I don't have signal, or if we're away in the caravan, sometimes it can be tricky to get signal sometimes. I'm never not online for more than 24 hours. So, I'm always online in some way. So I say 24 hours because you will get accepted to the board within 24 hours. And it's very unlikely it'll take that long at all. But I just want to make you aware that it can take up to 24 hours to get access. So once you've got access, you will see my board. And the first thing that I want you to do is click the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner, and then you would go to copy board. When you click that, what you do is you'd put in your board name. So you might be called Amy and you're calling it Amy board or Linda board or Jeff board, so call it what you want basically. So once you've copied my board, you will be able to edit that board. You will get an exact copy of mine as it stands today, and you will be able to edit it to your own things. So that is the first step that you want to do. Please do not edit this board. Okay, so now we're past that part. I'm going to talk you through how I manage my board so that you can create your similar, or you might want to change a few things. Some things might not be relevant to you. So the first column is ideas. So when I first started as a blogger, as I said, my ideas were everywhere. They were literally, I would think of ideas in the shower, just everywhere. I'd be in the supermarket and think, oh, that's a good idea for a blog, or that's a good idea for that. And so this was my space to park my ideas. So I've just given you a couple to look over there. I just park them here. So I might have an idea today about how I made £250 on Vinted. Okay, so that might be there. So that's almost, we're not working on that area. They're just ideas and I can pick them out as and when I want them. Now, my actual board, which is a copy of this board, will be very much full compared to this. I've got loads of ideas and I always put those in there. And it's really handy because as a blogger, no matter who you are, how long you've been blogging, how long you've been creating content, you will get writer's block sometimes. So having this board where you've got so many ideas ready, you can literally be like, oh, I want that one today. I want to work on that. So it's brilliant. So basically, as you can see, these are the ideas. Okay, so we've got the Christmas gift guide there. I've left that there for you guys within the board so you can see what types of things, checklist I would put in there. But say I was doing, let's open it, gift guide. I've put a checklist. You just click checklist and then you'd add your checklist and add each of these. So create an email outreach template, decide on final publish date, decide on the price, and decide on word count and picture inclusion. So these are things that I will have to do. And then, of course, we're going to email out. Yeah. Collect information from brands that have signed up. Okay. So that's just to give you a bit of an idea of how that works. And what it does, which I love about this, is you can literally tick things off as you go. So now, once that's done, I know, we've done it. But anyway, I love it. We know we're ready to move it to the next section. So anyway, that's that part. You can add any notes that you want in. So you might think, oh, Home Alone, I need to put that in. Or, you see a film that people might not know about, Angela's Christmas. Oh, I need to put that in because that's a really good film. It is actually. But yeah, you might want to add notes to this bit. You can add a checklist if you want. Movies. And then you might want to add research, movies. Ooh, can't spell today. Research, movies. And then you tick it off as you go. But anyway, there we go. So that's the idea area. And you can populate that how you want. You can leave it part there. You don't need to do a checklist. You can add a checklist later if you want to. But what I'm going to talk you through now is next blog and then current project. So let's have a look. Say I decided I wanted to do how I made £250 on Vinted. What I would do is I would go into here and I would go copy and then I'd say how I made 250 on Vinted, yeah? And then it would create the card, yeah? An exact copy of the other card, yeah? So I'll close that. And as you can see now, that's there. I'm going to move it to the back of the queue because that's going to be the last one that I do. So these are next up on the blog. This is current projects and this is the ones that I've published. I'm going to talk you through these, but I'm going to talk you through the current project first because it just makes more sense to me this way. So the current project is one that I'm working on now. So it'll be 5 ways to reach your goals. And as you can see, it's got a due date of the 1st of November as an example. You can actually add a due date by clicking into the card, clicking date, and then clicking wherever you want to set your due date. So I might set mine actually so it's overdue, just to do that, and then I'll close it. As you can see, it's highlighted red now because it's overdue. I need to do that. So if you're working with brands and working on collaborations, having due dates is really, really handy. So I really recommend doing that. Also for yourself as well, to make sure that you're actually getting your blogs out there, because with blogging, it can be like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. You should have due dates on things. So I really recommend that. So this is the current project that I'm working on. And how it works for me is I have a checklist of everything from SEO to things that need doing. And what I do is I tick it off as I go. So first of all, before I start this blog, I'm going to do some brainstorming. I'm going to find some keywords, which is in my course training. You will come to that if you've not come to that bit already. You're going to look at the top 3 results. You're going to make a note. So basically, all of these things you're going to do are going to really help you. First of all, create a brilliant article, not leave anything out, make sure it's as Google friendly as possible, and help you kind of make sure that you've covered absolutely everything. So once all of these are checked, and it's very, very therapeutic. So once all of these are checked off, you can also add anything to your checklist. So if we were doing the movies one, you might want to add different kind of things for you to do. I don't know. You might want to kind of get some pictures or whatever. But once they're all checked off, hold on, let's check 2 off just so you can see. You'd close that. So say, for example, for me, George and Olivia after school were like, I was working on something for an hour. Don't ever get that time to myself at the moment, but in the future. And they disturbed me. I will know exactly where I was up to when they disturbed me because I've ticked it off. So it's easy to go back to, because a lot of the times when George was little, I'd sit at the computer and I think, right, where was I up to? So this way of doing it is a really, really good way to do it. Once all of those are ticked, you can actually add it to published. So that's it, published. And then we'd move the next one over. And because we've copied it, it's already got the checklist in of everything that you need to include on there. So then you can just start that right away and you just drag them over. So that's how it works. So again, just so you know, you'd copy and then drag over. You can add any picture you want there. You could add, you know, if you're working with Disney on Disneyland Paris, or if you're working with Haven on caravan trips, something like that, you could put a picture of those in there. So however you want it. I just kind of put a picture of me in there, just the same picture, because it was easier. So that's how that works. Now, what I do is I do keep them in the published area, and I'm going to explain more of that shortly, and the reasons behind that. But let's move on to the next one. So brands and collaborations. This is where I would share any brands that I'm working with or brands that I need to go back to. So for example, I need to go back to Very about a campaign that they're running over Christmas. Do I want to do it? Don't I? Or, you know, how the logistics work, what they're actually looking for. So anything like that would go in there. I'd also have brands that I want to work with in this section in Q4, Q1. And basically you could have like a little checklist and do some research of them. So brands, we're going to Grand Palladium in Dominican in the next couple of weeks. So I need to contact them, which I have done actually. I should tick that off, but that's just an idea of ways that you can store information within this area. So you can just put emails in here. You can do a bit of detective work, like I talk about in my collaborating with brands section of the course. And you'd put all the information there. You can also put due dates on things. So here I can see, oh, I should have gone back to Ferry about that on the 1st of October, but that won't happen because I've got this open all the time. So you can add dates to all of these different things. Okay, so you've got your brands and your collaborations. You might want to put your dream brands that you want to work with on here, and then start to kind of schedule an hour each month to actually kind of reach out to those brands and see if there's any ways that you can work together. Okay. The next stage is the monetization project. So you might be working on a few things at the moment that are going to monetize your blog more. So it might be digital products, it might be a YouTube channel. You might be working with Tommy Tippy on a review, editorial board. You know, that's what I've got on there at the moment. You might be working on the Christmas gift guide. So they're ongoing things that are going to drive income into your blog. Okay, and you can have different steps on there, mainly for a reminder. But what I would have is anything on there, and I would have things on there until brands pay. So once you've worked with a brand and they've paid you, once they've worked with a brand and you've sent them the invoice, keep them on there until they've made the payment, because if you've got multiple payments, it can quite easily be that you miss one or something like that. So I'd keep those on that section. You might be selling adverts or something like that on your blog, you know, anything like that, a review. So anyway, that's that section. Okay. Old post to update, as I mentioned, published is here. So what we must do is with our blog, you might not have to worry about this yet, but as you get to a year old, 2 years old, you should be updating your old blog posts once per year. And this just shows Google that your content is up to date, and you are looking at what else other people have got on there. So by updating your old posts, what that would mean is that would mean going into, so say we've done this one, 5 ways to reach your goals, and I'd put a due date on for a year's time. So I know that I need to update that old post. So I'd have a look at the top few searches on Google. I'd have a look at what they're including that I haven't included. I'd update it, new pictures, any more ideas, and then I change the date of that. So that's been updated, and it can go back to the published, or it can go back on here and you can share it again, because people always want to see your content, and you get to a point where you've got so much content that you can share all the time. It's great. But you can put your due date on there. So once that's done, you might be like, right, I don't need now to look at that because I've done that now for next year. So I'm actually going to do October 2023. So now that 2024, sorry, I'm losing track of years. But yeah, so you know that isn't due yet to update. So that is a great way to keep it up to date as well. Website checks, so you'll want to check your domain authority. I put the link in there for you, so you've got that, so you can check that. Anything else, broken links, you might want to check your website speed, that it's mobile friendly, you know, all of those things you put on here, and you just put a due date. So you might want to check your domain authority each month to see if it's increasing, and see where you're up to, and just to measure that. And then you will want to social media. Now we're going to talk about, so social media, oh my goodness, some people get so overwhelmed with that, and it's like, how can I kind of work on social media and a blog? And having it all in one place is so much easier as well, because you might want to see here, I've got 5 ways to reach your goal. You might want to break that down into 5 different posts for October that you're going to share. Do you know what I mean? So you can always repurpose content as well. And you'll notice that with a lot of my blogs, I break things down a little bit, and I might only talk about something that's like 3 sentences long within my blog, and then, you know, and I publish that. But anyway, what I've done with this social media area, and you're going to love this, is I've actually created all your awareness days up to October 2024. You're welcome. So when you come into here, you will see you've got your blogs to write in October. You might just want to kind of put in there what you want to write then. You might be working a bit forward, a few months forward. So say now I could be working on January's content. So I'd be putting, or I might have an idea for January, and I can part that here. So you'd add that. So October, it might be a pumpkin soup I want to share recipe. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to write this month. I can put it in the idea area if I want, or I can come into here, or I can do both, however you want to do it. So I might just have like ideas here and then look into that another time. And then blogs to share in October. So as you go through your blogging journey, next year and the year after and the year after that, you're going to have more and more content to share at different times of the year. So say you do a Christmas post this year, next year you'll share that post and new posts. So you're building up your content constantly. So there's always things to share as you get more established. So I did a little spooky jelly pumpkin recipe idea. When was that? A couple of years ago, actually. And I know I've got that to do with Halloween, so I can put that on this list and I'll share it this year. And any other blogs I can put on for next year. So I could put on in October 2024. I could add any ones that I do now and the existing ones. So you've got a bit of an idea there. Anyway, so that's that part. But this is where the magic happens. And this is the part I absolutely love. And I've always done this. And I don't know why I haven't kind of shared it before. But this is my social media schedule. Yeah. And I've left some of it blank, but I've given you some ideas. So I've done up to 31 days. So if there's not 31 days, that's fine. But I've done that just up to 31 days if you want to share twice one day. But this will hopefully get you sharing something on social media each day. And you can just share, so you can either plan it out to the T of what you're going to share, or you might just want to share a prompt with yourself each day. So you might plan your content and put it all in here and then copy it over onto Facebook scheduler or onto Facebook on the day and just post it. But basically, once you've scheduled it or once you've posted it, you just tick it off, yeah, as you go through the month. And you might want to add little bits in. Now, the reason why I've left some of these blank as well is for the next brilliant part that you've got access to is all of these awareness days. So some you might not want to raise awareness around, some you might not resonate with your audience, but some might. So what I've done is I've put some awareness days in each month, so you've got access to those, and you can just think, right, oh yeah, on the 31st I'll share that, or that's coming up. I'd like to share that the week before to see if anyone wants to raise awareness around their story, or actually I want to share my blog on this and I'm going to put that in there. So this is to help you. So you can tick which ones you like the idea of. Oh, I like that one. I'll share that one. I'd like to raise awareness around this for my uncle. I'd like to do this one. And basically you can tick those off and then you can actually put them on the days in here or a bit before as well. And then things to share in your newsletter this month, you might think, right, okay, I'm going to share that. And I'm going to share a couple of other things and that blog and stuff like that. So you've also got your newsletter area as well, your mailing list letter. And as I've mentioned in the blog training, you know, there's lots of ideas that you can put within your newsletter as well, you know. So that is that. So each month, sorry, oops, that's me getting carried away. I need to, yeah, so there we go. And that covers you right up to then. And I've put awareness days in and all of that side of things as well. So you've got those in there ready to go. And then writer's block inspiration. I've also put in some catchy titles for you in this section. And if you're in my course already, you do have access to the ultimate content planner for 52 weeks, but it will do so many more than 52 weeks. So if you've not got to that yet, I'm really looking forward to you having a look at that section. But for the rest of you, I've actually put some ideas in here as well of catchy titles that you can use, and they'll fit in with any type of blog. And then again, ideas, if you've just got ideas on the go. And then as well, you want to check your stats. So you want to check your social media stats, how many people are coming on your blog and reading it and all of that. And that can go in this section. And that's a really good way to track your progress. You could even share how much money you're making each month. So you've got an idea on here, whatever you want to share within that section. And then if you've, like me, and you've got a YouTube channel, you would add the types of videos you want to put in there. Or podcast, if you've got a podcast like me, you might want to share the guests that you want to work with and where you're up to on certain episodes and things like that. So I've kept those on there. Feel free to delete those from your list. But I hope this helps and I hope you enjoy this video. And if you haven't got access to my board, that's fine. Create your own and don't forget to put the checklist in there of all of the things that you need to remember for your blog, because it's so important to get it as Google friendly as possible and as reader friendly as possible as well to get maximum results. But thank you for watching this video and I am so excited to have shared this with you. Speak to you soon.